We're world leading in our practices here in BC. The legislation and the forest management regime we have is absolutely dependent on forest professionals. In BC, we have 5,300 forest professionals. That's more than the entire rest of the country combined.
We're engaged in the forest sector for business. That's part of creating wealth and opportunity for our youth right now so that they can have a stronger and healthier future.
In the past 30 years, this industry has completely reinvented itself in terms of its environmental performance, the sustainability of the operations, the use of the forest fiber. There's very, very few products today that come from 100% renewable sources like the forests.
I think BC has a good future in forestry, and in part it's simply because we have a huge land base. If we do it right, it's perpetual. The trees grow back.
Here in BC, over 60% of the land base is covered by forests. Well less than half, about 22 million hectares, is available for harvest. And of that, a mere 1% or less, about 200,000 hectares, are harvested a year.
In the allowable annual cut process, we start with a timber supply analysis that looks at the forest composition, the rates of growth, how all the other values need to be managed, and the constraints that need to be applied to the forest to manage for those values. It's a balancing of environmental and economic values. I think it's really important that we have to recognize that there are a lot of different values and voices out there in the province, and we're trying to hear them out in a fair way and recognize those as we go ahead in our planning.
When we take a look at some of the partnerships that have done through some of the forest landholders, whether it's mountain bike trails or hiking trails or other recreational activities, I think it shows the social license that the forest companies have in the communities that they do business in.
Port McNeill is here because of forestry. 82% of the population here derive their economy and raise their families in forestry.
I see the future of BC's forest industry as really vibrant. I know that we're putting so many seedlings back on the landscape that are going to be there for years to come.
I feel a sense of pride in pursuing a career in forestry. And as a First Nation student as well, I really want to help be a part of making the future decisions in creating a sustainable resource for the province and for the country.
We can take the wood out of the forest and we can take it to the mill and create jobs and create all kinds of forest products that go across Canada, North America, and internationally. But I know that our silviculture practices are solid and that fiber is going to get replaced and the ecosystems will remain intact.
Forestry is part of the fabric of BC. It's helping provide jobs in communities. And even in the communities that are not forest dependent for their jobs, forestry provides revenue to the province that funds things like our school system, our healthcare system. Forests are going to be here, the forest industry is going to be here for generations to come.